they have no control over you if you got Aquarius placements, right? And that's because the matrix runs on fear. Fear is a very powerful emotion, and Aquarius has the most potential to detach from this emotion, which you call fear, right? The most powerful and lowest emotion is fear, okay, which controls the world. Aquarius have the most potential of detaching from that, which is why it's Aquarius versus the matrix, right? This is why they try to delete this code, delete y'all as a code, because y'all are not a reactive player, y'all not reactive code, right? The matrix basically needs people to emotionally buy in, because that is how they control you, right? Through the news, through fear, through anger, through crying. That's how the matrix controls people. The more emotional you are, the easier it is for the matrix to have control over you, because you're investing emotion into your favorite celebrities while the whole world emotionally reacts. Aquarius watches, right? All right, you got Aquarius placements, you are one of the watchers, okay? You are the watchers, all right? That's powerful. You guys are the watchers. Y'all are here to watch everything. Now, sometimes the matrix doesn't like people who watch. You guys know that. They like people who react. They like people who get emotional, want to fight, want to get angry. They like that. That they lock y'all up when y'all get like that. When y'all get too chaotic, they throw y'all in prison. It's easy, right? But when y'all watch, it's harder to do that. Again, the matrix needs a lot of emotional buy-in, right? Aquarius have none of it. They don't buy no emotion into that. So that's why they become very much the matrix's biggest threat. All right, this is Aquarius versus the matrix, man. Y'all stand outside the emotional crowd and you ask yourself one question: is this real? Okay, if someone was to come for your favorite rapper and they have truth, if you really have Aquarius placements, right, you are going to be open to listen, because you're listening with your logic. But if you're too emotional, you're going to get defensive over your favorite rapper, even if your favorite rapper is a sellout. That's why Aquarius are arguably the most smartest sign, or people with Aquarius placements, because they're willing to listen to any story to find the truth. You guys love the rabbit hole, right? Y'all not just getting too reactive with everything. No, that's not what y'all do. And that's why the elites never show real emotion, because emotions is leverage, right? Aquariuses are the masters at knowing this. Be very careful of the people who you're around, right? Since the matrix has no emotional leverage over you, because
on this next clip here, I've been told by very high vibrational, high level frequency, spiritual beings that on this next clip, they say I'm exactly like that. And I have to agree, because I do keep record of everything. And it helps me to compare with people that I talk to or hang out with, or anything of the sort, relationship wise or whatever, of the now and the future. So yes, I do keep record of everything. And they're like, people are out there saying I took psychology and I know this and that. You know what? I know more than you do, and I didn't have to go to school for it, because I got it right here, and I took record of everything from the day I can remember as a little bitty toddler until now. I got it all. This is my Akashic records, right here and right here. The Akashic records is not somewhere you go to. That's false. Your Akashic records, the book of life, is right here, because you've lived this life over and over and over and over so many times. It's not even funny. A millennium of times. So yeah, it's in here, and I keep record of everything. Listen to this clip, because this is who I am. It really is.
People with high vibration show 3 unusual signs, according to Carl Jung. But Jung found that this ability to see everything was not a gift. It was so dangerous, it often destroyed people. Today, I will reveal the 3 unusual signs that mark someone as either extraordinary or on the verge of psychological collapse. In his clinical practice, Jung documented patients with what he called differentiated perception. These were individuals who could read micro-expressions, sense hidden emotions, and perceive psychological patterns that escaped everyone else. They saw through social masks, detected lies instantly, and felt the unconscious tensions in every room. Jung called this discovery dangerous because these people consistently ended up isolated, exhausted, and unable to maintain normal relationships. Not because they were unstable, but because seeing everything came with a psychological cost no one understood. This awareness was seen as a curse, making them too sensitive or overly emotional. Here is something most people miss about empaths and highly sensitive individuals. Society teaches them to suppress this power. They are weapons waiting to be forged. Every kind person who sees too much learns to doubt their perceptions, to apologize for existing, to silence themselves. But what happens when that suppression breaks? When someone finally trusts what they have always seen? The first unusual sign shows that these individuals are not weak victims. They are psychological geniuses in hiding. When Jung asked his patients with differentiated perception to describe their relationships, he expected scattered thoughts of damaged minds. What he discovered changed everything he thought he knew about empaths. These patients had not been broken by abuse. They had been studying it. Jung found that empaths kept detailed mental records of every person who had ever hurt them. They knew their abusers' triggers, insecurities, and deepest fears. They had mapped emotional patterns with surgical precision. It was like they maintained a strategist's war room in their minds. They catalogued micro-expressions, voice changes, behavioral patterns. They understood the psychology of manipulation better than the manipulators themselves. They could predict outcomes, forecast relationship disasters, sense betrayals months before they occurred. And here is what made Jung's blood run cold. They had never used this knowledge, not once, until something pushed them past their breaking point. These empaths process emotional information faster and more.
Yeah, so now y'all get to know what kind of person I am. You can take whatever you can with it, you know. That's not my problem. I'm just expressing a little bit of who I am. And being an Aquarius, a life path 7, I wasn't made for relationships. Because no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter how I go about being the way they want me to or whatever, it just never works out. It's just never enough. It's always, I'm crazy, I'm emotionally unstable, I've got insecurities and, you know, all that crap. And I'm sorry, I'm in a reality and timeline that I'm just not in their level, or they're not in mine, actually. So it's just the way it is. Being a path number 7, I was made to emotionally suffer. I'm a person that's never had my bones broken. So people like me, we suffer emotionally, physically and emotionally, but we never have broken bones. I have gone through several times that I could have died, but never did. I'm here. But suffer? I suffered a lot. And still am. But I'm in a space right now where anybody and everybody that hurts me, that breaks my heart, and I don't see the changes that need to be done in them in certain areas, I start shutting down. I start backing off. I start, keeping quiet. I don't say anything anymore. I don't point out nothing no more. And if I do, I just leave it at that. I don't sit there and do anything anymore because it's not going to work. During my lifetime, the relationships with men, all I've ever had was men that hurt me in every way possible. I don't even know what it's like to have a good man in my life, in my personal life, that would actually care, that would actually respect me and honor me, and they would look past my looks, my weight, my age, or whatever the case may be. And there's just no men like that. And whatever, I can be the best woman in the world, but if my outside extremities is not attractive or is not what they want, as long as there's internet, that's where they're going to look for. They're going to look for what lacks outside of me. So men will always cheat. You know that phrase they say, once a cheater, always cheater? I agree with that. Especially if they used to cheat, they're always going to cheat. Maybe not physical, because cheating is not always physical. There's different levels of cheating. There's visual, there's emotional, and there's mental. And as long as there's as long as there's internet, as long as there's social media, like TikTok, I mean, it's meta. It's a place where all your fantasies can come true. It's a place where there's everything. It's literally living in a virtual reality. That's what TikTok is. You can scroll and scroll and you'll find everything you ever wanted that other platforms really don't have. So anybody that's addicted to that, they would rather go to that than talk to you. They'd rather go to that than message you. They'd rather go to that and then leave you as the last goddamn person to talk to at the end of the day and at the middle of the night when they're bored and got nothing else to do. Because if you try to talk to them during the day or call them or video chat, they don't got time. They ain't got no time. They're too busy on the internet. They don't got time. They're talking to the people that are very popular. Men love popular women. The ones that are not popular, they're not really interested in. But that is the issues I've had throughout my life. I'm just made to suffer, emotionally suffer. I'm made to just have to be heartbroken all the time. Basically, I'm just made to be alone. It's hard for me to have relationships at all. Even friendships, it's hard to have friends because people don't know the meaning of being a friend anymore. They'll betray you, they'll lie about you. And when it comes to relationships with family, family is not even family no more. They're just people that were born in your goddamn family. That's it. They were just born. They don't know how to be family with you the way they're supposed to. They'll talk about you. They'll degrade you if you're not doing what they want. They don't care. They'll make you look bad just so they can look good. They're innocent. They're pure. They don't do no wrong. But they'll blame it all on you so all eyes can be on you and not on them. They will never take the responsibility or the accountability or apologize for all of that. They don't want to look bad, so they make you look bad. Yeah, I don't get along with family either. So, I don't know. Being an Aquarius, having this responsibility and the mission of being here, trying to help people, trying to guide them and teach them and give them the knowledge that I have, the experiences I've gone through. And most of the time people just don't care. They're not going to do their work. They're not going to do their inner work. They're not going to let go of the program, the ego, the reptilian stem that they work under, and the root chakra. They're not going to let that go. I can see that now. I see it every day. People are not going to let it go. Internet is the thing. AI. And AI is making videos out there that you think is real. People doing this, advertising products, dancing around in lingerie and bras and everything, doing things with nudity and everything, and you think it's real, and it really isn't. It's fake. You're looking at fake. You're looking at the illusion that you want to stay stuck in. That is what you look for. I have tested people out in different ways, and I see that they're not going to change, and that's people that I have invested in for years. Been there doing this, going over and beyond for them, and I test them out here and there every now and then. Nothing changes. Be the change. Do something good.